Ayo, y'all stop what you're doing right now because this just got wild. Like nobody saw this coming. After weeks of silence, subliminals, and pure chaos all over the internet, Drake has finally spoken and the entire rap world is losing its mind. Fans are calling it the biggest lyrical earthquake since Control. But what's even crazier? Kendrick Lamar is not backing down. In fact, if you thought the beef was over, you might want to think again. It all started with a mysterious voice memo that surfaced online late last night. Yeah, it's the one everyone's been talking about on X and TikTok. People swore it sounded like Drake's subtle.com, but cold, like he'd been plotting this comeback for months. The internet went into full meltdown mode. Is this real? Did Drizzy really just take it there? And just when everyone thought it was over, Kendrick fired back again live, on stage in Compton, with a message that had fans chanting his name like it was a championship game. Bro, this isn't just music anymore. This is personal. We're talking broken friendships, family members unfollowing each other, secret dims exposed, and even other rappers quietly choosing sides. People close to both camps are saying things got way deeper than rappa. Betrayal that's been years in the making. Sources claim Drake's team is in full damage control, while Kendrick's crew is doubling down, posting cryptic messages and throwing shade like it's open season. Emotions are high, the fans are divided, and the industry shook. But the question is, what really pushed Drake to finally respond? What made Kendrick go this hard? And who's telling the truth in this rap civil war? Stay tuned, because we're breaking it all down right here. Right now, 8. So here's where the story really starts heating up. After that cryptic voice memo dropped, the whole internet went crazy. People were dissecting every word, every breath, trying to confirm if it was really Drake. Some fans swore they heard that smooth Toronto tone, while others said it was AI or a troll with too much time. But then, a few hours later, Drake himself posted something on his story. Black background, white text, simple but deadly. It read, "Sometimes silence is mistaken for weakness." That one line flipped the internet upside down. Everyone knew what he meant. And that's when the war truly began. Within minutes, Kendrick's fans started flooding the comments. They were posting duck season memes, laughing emojis, and lines from Kendrick's last verse that had already gone viral. The tension between both fan bases felt like it was about to explode. And it did when Drake went live. Nobody expected him to do it. The man barely goes live unless he's promoting something major. But there he was, sitting in his Toronto mansion, lights dimmed, drink in hand, that classic smirk on his face. He looked tired but calm. "So everybody been talking, huh?" he said, leaning closer to the camera. "I hear the noise. I see the tweets. But let me tell y'all something. I don't do this internet back and forth. I'm an album guy. I'm a legacy guy. But when you poke the bear too long..." He paused, smirked again. The bear wakes up. Fans in the comments went wild. Thousands flooded the chat, typing, "He's back," "Drake about to end it," and "the boy speaking." He didn't mention Kendrick by name, but the shade was crystal clear. You could feel that energy through the screen. But just when people thought Drake was going to end it there, he played a short snippet. Just 10 seconds. No full verse, no hook. Just a cold line that said, "You had your control moment, but I own the remote." That was it. The internet froze. 10 seconds later, every rap blog, every Twitter space, every TikTok account was already analyzing it. The memes started rolling. Even people outside the rap world were talking about it. It wasn't just a response, it was a declaration. Drake was stepping back into the arena. Now, here's where it gets messy. Word spread that Kendrick had already seen the clip before it hit the internet. Apparently, someone from Drake's circle sent it to a producer in LA who played it for a mutual friend of Kendrick's camp. That friend, let's call him Tone, reportedly told Kendrick the snippet was lightweight. He laughed it off, saying Drake must have lost his spark. But Kendrick, he didn't laugh. According to someone close to his team, he got quiet. Quiet Ann said, "He think it's a game." Less than 24 hours later, Kendrick popped up unannounced at a small club show in Compton. It wasn't on the schedule, wasn't promoted. He just appeared on stage while another artist was performing. The crowd went insane. The DJ dropped a beat that fans recognized instantly, and Kendrick freestyled for nearly 4 minutes straight. Halfway through, he stopped, stared dead into the camera, and said, "If you wake a bear, make sure you can outrun it." The crowd erupted. That clip alone broke the internet again. Everybody had an opinion. Fans were split down the middle. Og hip-hop heads were saying it felt like the old days, like Nas versus Jay. Newer fans were saying it felt like watching a real-life movie unfold on their phones. Celebrities started chiming in too. 21 Savage tweeted, "Let's keep it about the bars." J. Cole posted an hourglass emoji. Even LeBron James, who always finds a way to stay in the middle of rap beefs, posted a picture of himself with both their songs playing side by side, captioned "Greatness." But behind the scenes, it wasn't so friendly. Insiders started leaking messages. One of Drake's associates allegedly told a blogger that Kendrick took things too personal. There were rumors that some lines in Kendrick's unreleased verse weren't just about music, they were about people. Close to Drake's circle, even family. Nobody knew if it was true, but the whispers were enough to cause chaos. Then came the studio footage. An anonymous YouTube channel uploaded a video of Drake in the studio surrounded by producers. It looked recent. He was wearing the same hoodie he had on during his live. The clip didn't show much, but at the end, Drake looked up at the camera and said, "We ain't going back and forth. We going for history." That line became the caption for 1,000 fan edits. Meanwhile, Kendrick's crew was gearing up. His close friend Punch posted something cryptic. "Truth cuts deeper than bars." Fans started speculating about what was coming next. Was there a full track already recorded? Were they planning to drop it on the same night as Drake's rumored album release? That's when things took an unexpected turn. A well-known Toronto producer who had worked with both artists in the past posted a now-deleted tweet saying, "Y'all don't even know the half of what's going on behind closed doors." He deleted it within minutes, but screenshots were everywhere. Podcasts started spinning wild theories. Some said it had to do with ghostwriting accusations resurfacing. Others said Drake had been sitting on a verse that directly called out Kendrick by name, but his label didn't want him to drop it. Fans started feeling like this wasn't just about lyrics anymore. It was about pride, legacy, and something way deeper. Every time Drake posted something even remotely vague, Kendrick's fans decoded it. Every time Kendrick was seen in public, Drake's fans thought he was hiding something. It was paranoia mixed with passion. One night, a fan recorded Drake leaving a restaurant in Law. Paparazzi swarmed him, shouting questions about Kendrick. Drake stayed quiet, but his face said it all. Tight smile, calm but tense. When someone yelled, "You think you can take him?" Drake stopped, looked straight into the camera and said, "I don't need to take him. He already gave me the crown," got into his car and left. That clip hit 1 million views in 2 hours. Kendrick's single quotes as reaction came the next day. During an Instagram live with producer Soundwave, someone asked him about Drake's comment. He chuckled, shook his head and said, "Crowns are heavy when you borrow 'em." That was it for words that sent the internet spiraling again. By this point, every outlet was covering it. Say cheese, academics, every YouTube commentator, even mainstream news. You couldn't escape it. Both fan bases were dropping fake leaks, making up song snippets, and arguing nonstop. Every other hour, new insider info appeared online. But what nobody knew was that Drake had a plan. And it wasn't just another diss track. His team was reportedly planning something that would shake not just the rap game, but the entire internet culture. A source close to OVO said, "He's been quiet for a reason. When he moves, it's gonna be nuclear." The anticipation was crazy. Fans started counting down days, predicting release dates, analyzing every post from OVO Sound. Kendrick, on the other hand, was too calm, too collected. Like he already knew what was coming and didn't care. People around him said he'd been spending long hours in the studio. But he wasn't talking about it. And then Out of nowhere, Drake's Instagram went dark. No posts, no highlights. Is it a subliminal to Drake? The theories were endless. And just when fans were still arguing about that, Drake's camp broke their silence in the most unexpected way possible. An OVO engineer, someone fans knew from behind-the-scenes videos, went live on Instagram. He didn't say much, but the vibe was heavy. Smoke in the room, loud music playing, and pinned in the comments was a single word: Friday. That's all it took. Twitter went into meltdown mode. Everyone started speculating, was it Drake's diss track, a new single, or something bigger? Kendrick's fans weren't letting that slide, though. Within an hour, TDE's official account posted a black and white photo of Kendrick in the studio, hoodie up. Head down captioned, "Some people talk, some people work." It was subtle but lethal. People were calling it war in slow motion. Every move Drake made, Kendrick matched with something slick, something poetic. It was like a chess game for real. Then Friday came. Midnight hit. Spotify crashed. Apple Music froze. For a few minutes, people thought Drake broke the internet again, but there was nothing. No new track, no drop, no announcement. Fans were losing their minds. Is this a troll? Did it get leaked early? Was the whole Friday thing a distraction? Nobody knew what to believe. Around 1:15 a.m., a random YouTube channel uploaded a track called The Rematch. The profile had no name, no photo, nothing. Just an OVO owl emoji in the description. The beat came in heavy, haunting, with Drake's unmistakable tone sliding in. "It's the quiet ones you should worry about," he said, and that's when the verse started. Drake wasn't holding back. He didn't name names directly, but every line had a double meaning sharp enough to cut through the internet. "You talk about control, but can't control your own," he rapped. Fans went nuts. The comments section exploded. Some were screaming he ended Kendrick, while others called it mid. Still, nobody could deny it was clean, confident, classic Drake energy. But wait, it didn't stop there. In the second verse, he switched tones, got personal, started hinting about private convos, mutual friends, and something about West Coast whispers that sent fans into detective mode again. One bar hit hard. "You tried to build your legacy off my silence. Now watch how I talk." By morning, every blog, podcast, and influencer was breaking down the lyrics line by line. Say Cheese posted Drake finally fires back, while Academics was live for 6 hours straight analyzing metaphors. Half the internet said Drake was back in his bag. The other half said Kendrick was already plotting a reply. But what nobody saw coming was how fast Kendrick would move. Just 12 hours later, boom, Kendrick dropped response pending. No announcement, no promo. He just uploaded it to SoundCloud like it was 2012 again. The beat was raw, stripped down, and the energy violent. You could feel the anger through the speakers. His opening line, "You play chess with pawns, I play war with kings." Instant GOOSEBUMPs. The track was pure venom. Kendrick went bar for bar, dismantling every rumor Drake had hinted at. He accused Drake of buying legacy through playlists, called out industry friendships built on fear, and even mentioned a father's shadow hiding in platinum plaques. The crowd online went wild. Fans said it felt like the Control verse Part 2. But here's the thing that made it different. Kendrick didn't stop at the bars. Halfway through, he flipped the entire vibe. The beat switched, and he started talking directly, like he was having a 101 with Drake. "I respected you when I was coming up," he said. "I studied you, learned from you, then realized your success was my limit. So I had to break it." It wasn't just a diss, it was emotional, layered. Like Kendrick was exercising something that had been sitting in his chest for years. By the end of the track, Kendrick said, "Don't respond with captions. Respond with clarity." That last line became a viral quote. People printed it on shirts, used it as captions, and started posting videos saying, "Kendrick won." Hashtags like #respond with clarity and hashtag Drake vs. Kenny started trending worldwide. Now here's where the real drama unfolded. According to insiders, Drake was furious. One of his friends allegedly said he felt blindsided. Like Kendrick crossed a line by bringing real names and situations into the track. But his team advised him not to rush. They told him to play the long game. But Drake, he's never been one to sit still. Within 48 hours, he was spotted at a studio in Miami with future Metro Boomin and a few surprise producers. Fans started joking that he was assembling the Avengers of diss tracks. Meanwhile, Kendrick was seen at a family gathering in Los, smiling, relaxed, almost unfazed. It was like he'd already won in his own mind. Still, the tension behind the scenes was boiling. One close friend of both artists revealed that mutual connections were trying to mediate. Apparently, someone from J. Cole's camp reached out to both sides, hoping to calm things down. It's getting too real, they said. This could tear the industry apart. But neither Drake nor Kendrick responded. Both camps went silent, but silence only made fans hungrier. Social media turned into a battleground. OVO fans were defending Drake like it was religion, while TDE supporters were dropping bars and memes every minute. One fan even rented a billboard in Compton that said the boy can't see K-Dot. Within hours, Drake's fans clapped back by flying a banner over Toronto that said "Control, who?" The petty level was unmatched. Every day brought a new headline, a new twist. Then, out of nowhere, rumors started swirling that Drake's next move wouldn't be a song but a documentary. A Netflix insider leaked that he'd been filming behind the scenes for months, documenting his creative process, the ups and downs, and even personal conflicts with peers. People were convinced it was all leading to this moment. Kendrick's team denied knowing anything about it. But some fans said they saw it coming. Drake's a strategist. One podcast host said, "He doesn't just drop music. He drops movements." Still, others argued that Kendrick's authenticity would overpower any slick production. Meanwhile, someone in Kendrick's circle leaked that he had another record ready, something deeper than a diss. Word was, it touched on mental health, fame, and fatherhood, but still carried hidden jabs. Insiders said it would be the final chapter. And as if the universe wanted to turn the heat up even more, screenshots started circulating of Drake and Kendrick's mutual friendship-liking and unliking posts about the beef. Fans began spinning new theories. Is she involved? Did she pick a side? Even celebs who had nothing to do with the feud were being dragged into it. But nothing could prepare anyone for what came next. One night while Drake was performing in Vegas, someone from the crowd threw a hoodie on stage. Embroidered on the front were the words "Respond with clarity." Drake stopped mid-performance, looked at it, smiled, and said into the mic, "That's cute." The crowd screamed. "They want me to clarify." He said, "Fine." Next week, the room exploded. Cameras flashed. Fans went crazy online. Drake had just promised to respond again, live in front of everyone. The countdown started immediately. Fans began analyzing dates, predicting when next week meant. Breaking down every symbol he used on stage. The internet couldn't breathe. Everyone waited. What nobody knew, though, was that while Drake was teasing his next move, Kendrick was already one step ahead. Reportedly, it shot a secret visual days earlier, one that would flip the entire narrative upside down. When I tell you the next few days felt like living inside a movie, I'm not exaggerating. Drake said next week, and that phrase became prophecy. The internet couldn't stop counting down. Every single day, fans were like, is it dropping tonight? What time zone? What platform? OVO stans were refreshing Spotify like maniacs, while Kendrick fans were tweeting chess emojis every hour, taunting. But behind all that noise, something bigger was happening. Something that nobody outside the inner circle saw coming. It started with a leak that hit Reddit around Tuesday night. A random user posted a grainy screenshot showing Drake and Kendrick in the same studio. People thought it was fake at first, like AI or Photoshop, but then a known videographer from Toronto commented under it saying, "Real footage, old session." That one comment sent the entire internet spiraling. Fans started piecing together the timeline, saying the photo must have been from when both artists were allegedly working on a secret collab album years ago, before things went sour. That's when people started asking what really happened between them. Rumors started resurfacing. One blogger claimed that the original tension didn't start with the Control verse. It started with a verse Kendrick wrote for Drake's album that never made the final cut. Supposedly, Kendrick felt disrespected when Drake's team told him the verse didn't fit the energy. Since then, things were cordial on the surface but icy underneath. Years of hidden competition, quiet jabs, and passive-aggressive lyrics all built up to this dot. Then, on Wednesday night, Kendrick made his first public appearance since dropping Response Pending. He was at a private event in Law, and of course, somebody filmed it. He wasn't performing, just standing near the stage, talking to friends. Someone yelled, "Drake, dropping soon." And Kendrick smiled, shook his head, and said, "Some folks drop songs. Others drop legacies." The clip blew up instantly. Fans were like, he's unfazed. K-Dot already feels like he won. But OVO fans clapped back, saying, "That's the calm before the storm." "That's the calm before the storm." By Friday morning, everything exploded. Drake's Instagram story posted a countdown, 3 simple emojis, an hourglass, an owl, and a microphone. No caption. Nothing else. Within minutes, OVO merch stores quietly went live with limited edition hoodies reading Clarity Mode. That was confirmation. The diss was coming. At midnight, Spotify crashed again. The new track was called Clarity Mode, and the intro alone had fans screaming. Drake came in smooth but deadly, with that calm confidence that only he can pull off. "You talk about kings like I don't own the castle," he rapped. "You talk about loyalty like I don't know the battle." Every bar felt like a dagger wrapped in silk. But halfway through the track, Drake switched up the flows, slowed it down, started talking. "See, y'all think it's about rap," he said. "This ain't about verses. This about vision. They tried to paint me as the villain, but I built the gallery." It was reflective, sharp, almost philosophical. Some fans said it was Drake's smartest diss yet. He wasn't just replying. He was rewriting the narrative. Kendrick's fans weren't impressed, though. They flooded social media, calling it soft corporate, a podcast, not a track. But even they couldn't deny the production was insane. Metro Boomin and 40 had layered sound so perfectly it felt cinematic. People started calling it the Scorpion sequel. Still, Kendrick wasn't about to let it slide. The man dropped his counterpunch barely 24 hours later. A video appeared on YouTube under the title Legacy Part 2. And bro, this wasn't just a track hit, it was a full-blown short film. Shot in black and white, gritty and raw, with Kendrick narrating his verses like poetry. The opening line, "Clarity don't come from filters. The internet lost its mind." Every frame of that video felt intentional. Kendrick rapped in front of old photos from his childhood, spliced with clips of city streets, protest footage, and headlines from the music industry. It wasn't a diss, it was a statement. He wasn't just responding to Drake, he was responding to fame itself. Still, there were lines in there that cut deep. "You built your mansion out of mirrors. Now it's you that's trapped inside." Fans screamed. Everyone knew who that was for. After Legacy Part 2, the energy shifted. This wasn't just a back and forth anymore. It started feeling like something bigger, like two philosophies clashing. Drake representing the polished, global, calculated artist. Kendrick representing raw truth, art over charts. Every media outlet picked sides. Joe Budden said Drake won with skill, while Nardwuar tweeted that Kendrick won with soul. And then the personal stuff started leaking. An anonymous source, someone who claimed to have worked with both, told a podcast that there was a moment years ago when Kendrick reached out to Drake for advice on building his brand internationally. Allegedly, Drake gave him the cold shoulder. That same week, Drake's producer hinted on Live that Kendrick had once turned down an invite to an OVO Fest because he didn't want to share the stage. Fans didn't know who to believe, but it only added fuel to the fire. Meanwhile, the family started catching strays. Tabloids reported that Kendrick's cousin had unfollowed one of Drake's photographers on Instagram. It sounds petty, but in this new era of digital beef, even that made headlines. Families are picking sides. One headline read, "People were saying that both camps had stopped communicating entirely, no calls. No texts, nothing but silence and smoke. The internet couldn't stop talking." Memes flooded timelines. Fan edits made it look like a real boxing match. Versus Drizzy, face to face with the words "Round 3 coming soon." But just when people thought it was over, Drake did something nobody saw coming. He posted an old photo of himself and Kendrick together from years ago, smiling backstage. No caption, just a heart emoji. The internet froze. Fans didn't know how to take it. Was it shade? A peace offering? Nostalgia. Kendrick didn't respond publicly, but a few hours later, his longtime engineer tweeted, "Some smiles age into warnings." Bro, that line alone sends shockwaves. People were like, nah, it's not over. But behind the scenes, some insiders started saying Drake's post wasn't meant to be petty, was actually his way of cooling things down. Apparently, he'd been talking with a few mutuals about de-escalating. One source said, Drake's tired of the drama. He feels like it's distracting from the art. But here's where things took a turn. Drake's label wasn't happy about it. Executives allegedly saw the beef as good business. Streams were up, merch was flying off shelves, and media attention was non-stop. They didn't want peace, they wanted part 3. Kendrick, meanwhile, was moving differently. He'd gone radio silent. No posts, no appearances. Fans said he was letting the music breathe. But word in LA was that he was in the studio with some serious hitters' names, like Baby Keem, J. Cole, and even rumored sessions with Andre 3000. Then, out of nowhere, Kendrick's camp posted a cryptic video. A simple 30-second clip showing a chessboard again, but this time, the king piece was lying on its side. Fans gasped. Did he just say it's over? Is he done responding? Everyone was confused. But then right at the end of the clip, a voice whispered, "Check doesn't mean mate." GOOSEBUMPS. People lost their minds. The cycle started again. OVO fans said Drake still had one more move. Teed fans said Kendrick already made his point. Industry insiders said they'd never seen anything like it before. And that's when a brand new twist dropped. A leaked snippet of an unreleased Drake verse surfaced online. It wasn't on any official page, but the lyrics sounded fresh. In the snippet, Drake said, "You don't battle ghosts when you built the house." People debated if it was real or AI. But one thing was certain, it sounded like he wasn't done talking. Fans were exhausted but obsessed. It wasn't just about who could rap better anymore. It was about who could outthink, outmaneuver, and outlast. Kendrick's people said he was past the noise. Drake's team said he was just getting started. And that's where things started taking an emotional turn, because what happened next wasn't just about bars or bragging rights. It was about what happens when legacy and ego collide. When two kings fight for one throne in a world that never lets both shine and write. When everyone thought the war was reaching its peak, something happened that no fan, no insider, no blogger could have predicted. The next chapter of this saga felt unreal, like the universe decided the drama wasn't done feeding the internet. The moment everyone thought the beef had peaked, the situation took a left turn straight into chaos. See, people had been arguing over bars and metaphors for weeks. But now it wasn't just about rap, it was about loyalty, betrayal, and something personal that went way deeper than anyone expected. It started on a random Sunday morning. Out of nowhere, a clip leaked online showing a heated phone call. Nobody knew who recorded it, but the voices were unmistakable. You could hear DrakeCole.com, but clearly irritated, saying, "So that's how we moving now, after all these years." Then a pause, followed by a voice that sounded just like Kendrick. "You changed the rules, not me." The call cut off after that, but the internet erupted. Fans were screaming that it was fake. Others swore it was real. And a few said they recognized background noises that matched studios in LA. For days, the blogs ran wild. One outlet claimed the call was from years ago, during a fallout over a joint track that Drake allegedly shelved. Another site swore it was new, proof that the beef had gotten personal again. OVO insiders said Drake was furious about the leak, while Kendrick's team said no comment. But behind closed doors, sources whispered that the leak came from someone in Drake's own camp, trying to stir the pot for publicity. Meanwhile, the fans didn't sleep. TikTok detectives broke down every syllable of that clip. Some said the argument was about royalties. Others believed it was about mutual friends, maybe even a betrayal over a shared business move. And that's when the story took a darker turn. A journalist from Toronto posted a thread claiming Drake had reached out to Kendrick privately months before the beef reignited, trying to clear the air. Supposedly, Kendrick agreed to talk, but the conversation ended badly after a disagreement about authenticity versus fame. The journalist said that what we were seeing now was the aftermath of two visions of greatness colliding. Tech. Sure, but fans just wanted answers. Then came the video that broke the internet. A short clip leaked from Kendrick's recording sessions, grainy footage showing him pacing around a studio, muttering bars under his breath. You could hear one line clearly: he built a tower so tall he forgot the foundation. That was all it took. Fans instantly connected it to Drake. The symbolism was to on-point fame without roots, legacy without grounding. Drake's fans clapped back hard. Y'all really think he's touching Drizzy? Drake's the foundation of the whole game. Every social feed turned into a battlefield. Even other rappers started picking sides. Some quietly liked posts. Others jumped into the chaos openly. Megan Thee Stallion tweeted, "This beef hittin' like a series finale," while Tyler, creator, posted a meme of popcorn and wrote, "Let the poets duel," and wrote, "Let the poets duel." But the weirdest twist came from someone completely unexpected. Kendrick's old collaborator from the early mixtape days went live on Instagram, claiming there was a real reason behind the tension. He said, "It's not even about rap, bro. It's about a move that went wrong. Money, pride, and one conversation that never got finished." Fans begged him to spill more, but he ended the live right there, saying, "Y'all ain't ready." That only made things worse. For 3 straight days, every podcast and YouTube channel was spinning their own version of the truth. One theory said Drake had ghostwritten a hook for Kendrick years ago and never got credit. Another theory said Kendrick felt Drake tried to overshadow him with industry politics. But the most viral one, that the whole beef started because of a leaked verse about mutual friends. Something personal that cut too deep to ever fix. Then, out of nowhere, Kendrick appeared again. Not on Twitter, not on Insta, a live stream from a nonprofit event in Law. He wasn't there to talk music, just to speak about community work. But a reporter yelled out, "What about Drake?" And Kendrick paused, smiled faintly, and said, "Some things don't need more words." That was all. 8 words that sent everyone into chaos again. Drake fans mocked it as dodging the smoke. But Kendrick fans praised it as Zen master energy. Still, deep inside, you could tell both camps were running on fumes. People close to Drake said he was drained, spending long nights in the studio but scrapping most of what he recorded. Kendrick's circle said he'd gone quiet, even around his team, focused only on writing. One insider described the energy as two titans tired of war but too proud to surrender. And then something wild happened. Drake's mom, who rarely ever says anything publicly, liked a comment on Instagram that said, "Kendrick is talented but lost." Lasted 5 minutes before it disappeared, but screenshots spread instantly. Fans went crazy. People were tweeting, "Not Drake's mom stepping in." Kendrick's fans turned it into memes, calling it parental advisory beef. The internet's sense of humor had no limits. The next move, though, belonged to Drakond. It wasn't what anyone expected. He dropped a video on YouTube titled "For the Record." It wasn't a diss track. It was him sitting in a studio talking directly to the camera. "I know y'all love the show," he said. "I know the views, the tweets, the comments, it's all fun. But understand this. I'm not here to prove I'm better than anyone. I'm here to remind the world who I am." He leaned forward, his tone turning cold. And sometimes reminders hurt. Half the internet thought it was a genius move. The other half thought it was pure ego. Kendrick's fans mocked it with remixes, dubbing his words over dramatic movie clips. But no one could deny that Drake's confidence was untouchable. Then came the craziest twist yet, rumors that both camps were approached by a major streaming platform to do a face-to-face documentary special. Imagine that. Drake and Kendrick sitting down, mano a mano, cameras rolling, clearing the air. Fans were salivating. That would break the internet. It would be bigger than Versus. But apparently, Kendrick turned it down immediately. His response? Some art don't need commentary. Still, it was clear neither of them could escape the tension. Even other artists started getting dragged in. Cole posted a quote on his story that said, "Real kings don't compete, they coexist." Fans thought he was trying to play peacemaker again. But others said he was low-key throwing shade. And just when the industry started calming down, it exploded again. Because Drake's engineer accidentally previewed a snippet of an unreleased track during an IE Live. It was only 2 seconds, but the words "you can't preach peace from a throne you broke" were crystal clear. Everyone knew what that meant. Kendrick didn't respond immediately this time. Instead, he posted a single black and white photo, an empty microphone on a stage, spotlight shining down. No caption, no explanation. Fans said it meant he was done talking, that he'd let the legacy speak for itself. But others said it was a warning, the calm before the storm. The following week, Drake's team dropped teasers for a mysterious project titled Mirror Talk. Every teaser had fragments of conversations. Headlines, paparazzi, flashes, all building tension. Fans didn't know if